For anyone who is not familiar with the community sessions, welcome. My name is Colleen McGrath. I make a fool out of myself for usually the first 10 minutes. I'm happy everyone's here to join us. If you do want to watch this recording afterwards, you can find it in the community, and I will drop the link of where it's going to be, because I know everyone asks me during. So yes, these are recorded. Yes, you can rewatch them. For our special guest today, Tim, are you listening? Special guest today. You got it? Okay, you're here. We have Jack. He's the CEO and owner at Social Jack Media, and he founded the agency with the belief that local businesses are the bedrock of a strong and stable economy. Just like you all incredible people. They need the premier digital marketing services on par with those who enjoyed by corporate giants. You know, we're all trying to fight those big guys. Jack formerly worked in the hospitality industry before leaving to chase his dream of starting an agency. He's been an agency owner for several years and gone through the difficult startup phase, like most of you have, and into that mid-market agency now with a team of 6. Super exciting. He just surpassed 1 million in annual recurring revenue in 2021. In his first year, he was 175K. So $1 million to now, or from 175 to $1 million. So incredible. We're so excited to have Jack here. So Jack was actually last week with Jackie Cook. They did a webinar on March 3rd, so that would have been last Thursday, about weatherproofing your agency. So the webinar was such a hit. There was a ton of unanswered questions. So we wanted to bring Jack to the community session. He's going to give you kind of like a high level overview of what him and Jackie went through, and then we're really going to open the floor for questions. So I will kick it over to Jack. Jack, welcome to the community session.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Colleen. Great to be here. Great to have such a great turnout here. First time on the community center, so I'm really excited about getting to answer some of your questions and getting to know you guys. Oh, so yeah, sorry. Quickly, last week I had the opportunity to speak with Jackie. And it was really, the topic was how to weatherproof, your agency, especially, we going post-COVID, now dealing with inflation, and what were the challenge, what challenges are we facing? Oh, great, thanks, Colleen. Yeah, perfect. What were some of the challenges that we've been going through? How do you deal with scaling? Where to source leads, what products and solutions are providing the most ROI for our clients. And so we kind of skimmed through and talked about those points. And then there were a lot of questions specifically about what products, what solutions, where are we getting our leads from, and how are we maintaining these relationships and avoiding churn. So that was really the synopsis of the webinar that we had last week. Yeah, my beautiful team there. We're now growing to 8, bringing on a couple more individuals this week. And one of the topics was also about outsourcing versus hiring internally. And at Social Jack, we have a little bit of balance. We have the internal team, which I think is important, especially dealing with clients on a daily basis, having account management and being able to manage the services on our side is a benefit. But we also outsource, and I'm starting to use or testing the waters on a VA for administrative work. So I'll have more to come on that probably in the next few weeks, but I'm starting to tap into that here as well. I'm not sure if you all outsource, or if you have full teams, or if it's just a team of one. I started, it was just me doing the bulk of the work, strategy, and really troubleshooting almost all of the products on Vendasta, and using almost 90% of the vendors through trial and error. So I kind of went through it and found the vendors that really have the most impact and who are the most responsive, and so it was a big benefit there. Yeah, I'm sure, I guarantee you're having conversations about inflation, or you're having clients contact you, asking about either pausing their ad campaigns, potentially, maybe downgrading a service, or trying to disconnect services altogether. So one way we avoided it was, we were a little bit proactive, and just having gone through COVID, I mean, it's kind of the same playbook. We just, every month we evaluate every client. We review all of the products that they have, the strategy. We look at the reporting, and we reach out and we have our monthly meetings. And then at those meetings, we ask, where are your pain points? Do we need to cut spend here? Do we need to hire anybody? Do we need to look for other areas to support? And for the most part, we have seen in our really local, hyper local ad spend pause a little bit. So we're focused on doing more SEO work, more social. We're incorporating more email, and trying to have the clients collect their own customer data and keep that pool more than just relying on social platforms. So, that approach, we're just embedding ourselves a little bit tighter with them, which is requiring more time. So that's where, for us, we had to increase our pricing a little bit on labor, on the kind of just account management side. But we're giving some of the freebies, some of the customer voice, the reputation management, express. So combating that by giving some of the products that are express versions, that they can still see, some good ROI, and they get interaction with the dashboard, which is helpful. We talked about the workforce, and this is, for us, outsourcing is still a major benefit. Leveraging Vendasta and the vendors on Vendasta is a huge bonus, because one of their fixed, you have fixed costs, and you know what they're going to be every month. So it helps us when we put together our packages and how we present our pricing. So that's a huge benefit. But there's no shortage of creative talent. If you're looking for copywriters, I love the background on one of, I'm sorry, I can't see the full screen, but the graphic designers are, there's so much talent, and with influencers being available, there's so much opportunity to reach out to creative talent without having to incur a huge salary every month. It could be project based. I see that there are folks leaving different industries, and tapping into the creative marketing side, where you can leverage them as freelancers in a way. So if you have, if your client is spending a certain amount, and you have a little bit of wiggle room to bring on maybe a new creative for that account, or for your team as a whole, you can give someone set hours at a certain rate. They can commit to you, but you don't, almost like a contractor or a status, which is a big bonus. You can hire a few different creative people without taking such a burden. Yes, where to source leads. There's really, we touched on that. There's no shortage of leads. If you tap into your local Facebook groups, in some cases they have set days of the week that people look for referrals. So that's a great source for us. It's more low hanging fruit. It's project work. It's a website design. It's someone looking for someone to claim their Google My Business listing. But those are just good opportunities to get on a really local scale, and then build that rapport with a smaller client, and kind of grow with them. It's kind of investing there. For the mid-market clients, we look at companies that are looking to hire. So they're putting out Indeed and LinkedIn job posts, looking for social media managers, website developers, SEO experts. So we try to tap into those hiring managers and connect to the company executives, and set up a meeting where we can, we leverage ourselves and we give our pitch and the benefits of outsourcing to us, as opposed to hiring an internal team member. So we've seen really good success there, especially with legacy companies that have been around 40, 50 years, that it makes sense for them to outsource to us. And then, our team take on, all of the marketing initiatives from PR to website to SEO to digital ads. So that's a big win for us. And that's what we're focused on more for the rest of the year, is focusing on legacy clients, and companies looking to hire. That's our push right now. But another great source for leads are even, they have in the construction side, it's their pay per lead, is what they call it. So there's also the option for that service for marketing. So there's companies like bark.com as an example, that people are submitting bids and requests for service, and if you're the first to strike, 90% of the time you'll get it. So that's another good source. We've got a few clients through that channel, and then there's running your own advertising and going out on PPC and Facebook and Instagram, and that's always a good opportunity too. Colin, you can move to the next slide.
You just tell me if I need to skip slides, because I'm struggling here.
Yeah.
Oh. Did I skip a whole bunch, guys? Thank you.
It's okay. You can skip this one. I think this was just a recap. Yeah, so the challenge with kind of growth and how I've kind of scaled to this point, is I never focused on a one fix. Like, so if the client comes to you looking for SEO or a specific service, yes, you listen and we use the Six Sigma method. So you kind of dig deep and you peel back the onion and you see, well, what do they have? And Snapshot's a great tool to kind of take a glimpse of that. But you really peel it back and you say, well, yes, this is great. We understand you. This is what you're wanting to do, but you need to also do X, Y, and Z. So we really come in and tackle every single foundational piece and tie that in and present that in a price that they're comfortable with, that they can afford, on a low side. And then if they're larger, then we tap into their marketing budget that they either have forecasted or we help forecast it for them, and said, this is our strategy. And then we develop the roadmap. And we use almost all the tools within Vendasta. And my team handles the strategy and then the execution behind that.
Oh gosh.
That's okay.
Guys, sorry.
That was. I think we can jump into questions. I know there were a lot of questions, specifically, so we can jump into that.
Sure. So I'm going to go over the questions that were that didn't get answered last week, everyone, and then keep putting your questions in the chat, and we'll get to those after. So where are we? Okay, so Eric Walker, which products did you find to be the most resourceful for yourself, and which ones for your clients and customers?
Great question. I think if you're still handling a bulk of the work, doing social, doing copy, designing websites, I've now offset that to the design team at Vendasta, the creative team. They actually do a great job. A lot of the products from our the local business toolkit, the social media marketing app, reputation management, combined with customer voice, so we can give them that link that they can send to clients, or we can help them set up their templates. The local listings, of course, with the X, we found it is a little bit stronger. Depending on the size. So if it's hyper local, I like to use the Shop to it, the Google search at that level. And if it's a larger scale client, we go with a larger digital ad campaign spend using the Vendasta team. But those are kind of the basics. We always try to tap into the site, whether they like it or not. We try to gain access to it and bring it into our ecosystem. If it's a WordPress, I just factor that into our cost that we're going to take that on so that we can connect, all the codes and the tracking codes so we can bring in real good data into the reporting. And then what's really important is that we still handle all the strategy. So we having that open communication with the partners. So we create the brief, a really strong creative brief, and assign it to whether it's the website team or the copywriting team. Where we are determining the topics and the design and the copy, because we know our clients better than they would. So I think assuming that if you're just handing it off to one of the outsourced vendors, that they're going to be mind readers or understand the client or understand the market, I think that's a mistake. I really give them everything they need, and they're going to execute on that, and it's just proofing it after that.
Colleen, you're talking, but you're muted.
You're muted, Colleen.
You're muted.
It's Friday. Why did
There
I
you
do
go.
this?
That's how you
Come
see
on,
me.
you guys. Guys, come on. Help a girl out right now. I was so
Have
good.
another cup of coffee.
Try. Guzzle in here. Okay. Samuel asks, we are currently approaching 50,000 members in our global business directory. Recently, we joined Vendasta and are in the process of understanding how to present their solutions. As a force of one person, I need help monitoring my members on a recurring income basis while giving them what they need. I feel that Vendasta is a great first step, but I have hit a wall and need help. Any ideas?
Well, what do they need? What do your members need? Do they need strategy support? Do they need websites, listings? I think it's determining what those customers need, and then putting together a nice package and bundle that could handle all of that without having to. That you could then you can just monitor it, in the dashboard.
Right, not one fit all, but really doing a needs analysis to figuring out what they truly need and not just selling them a product.
Right. The one fit all solution doesn't work for long-term growth, because there's so much competition, and someone's going to come undercut you. Someone could be more likable than you, so it's you really got to get sticky and say, there are multiple. There's not just one ad campaign that's going to do it for you if you're looking to have a sustainable business model. So it's the same kind of approach.
Kurt asks, thank you for your time, Jack. I've learned a lot. I've been personally handling the social media postings for my clients, images, copy, landing pages, etc. It's becoming a lot of work, but I'm struggling with outsourcing this part. How has your experience been in handing this off to Vendasta and making sure that the quality you expect is there on a consistent basis?
Yeah, that's the hard part, and that's why I like to have the creative, especially social, because it's dynamic. There are multiple platforms, and clients really want to see themselves on these platforms, even though it may not reap the rewards right away. Especially if they're not spending a good chunk of change with you. But to offset that, understanding the type of client, if they just need an image and strong copy, and then you just need to be relevant, then going with the creative team at Vendasta, you're going to know that it's going to cost you, $90, $100 for 2 posts or whatever the case might be, and you kind of build a package that way for social if it's very basic. But then you should have tiers, you should have levels to it. So if clients are looking for 5 to 12 pieces of content, video, their own photos of their team and or their job sites or whatever the case. Then you have to build out more expensive packages, but you also need that support, right? You need the creatives behind you to be able to be nimble enough to visit the clients, get the footage, edit it, make sure it matches your content strategy and your content calendar. And for me anyway, right now, that's kind of the same. That's kind of what I dealt with about year 3, was I was also managing the content and scheduling it. And I still to some degree review it before everything goes out. But that's where hiring maybe a VA or bringing in interns or bringing in some junior level team members can help offset that and work, handle that workload for you.
Sabina asks, which digital advertising offering from Vendasta Marketplace works best for you and for your clients?
Well, I like we sell the local business toolkit as a base a lot, pretty much for every client. The ads team have been fantastic. I mean, every campaign has been successful that we've run. The website team are really great. They have some great frameworks. They're modern. As long as you take the time to review and have an idea of what's going to work for the client, and if you have your own assets for the client, then even better. But they're really great, and they've gotten quicker. I think a few years ago it's a little bit 30 days, but now they're within under 14 days. You can have the site ready to go, approved for the client, and launch, which makes you gives you a competitive edge, an advantage. I also really like the local ads system for our higher spend clients. That's I work with Nick Hulson over there, and they do a great job, both handling creative, handling copy, and it's an awesome tool for in the advertising space, which gives us an edge. Usually, in my experience, it was always reserved, and it was a little bit it was a higher buy-in to be able to have that tech. So now it's at that price point of entry. It's advantageous to offer to even hyper local. We have one campaign just top of mind running for a salon, and it's been running for I think like now 16 months, and they're opening another location. So it just proves that it works when done right. And then I also like if you're not hiring, if we need to outsource the graphics team are really great, handling like the branding piece, business cards, logos. They're also very good.
Okay, this is more of a comment. So one thing that happened on my side, Annette Washington. One thing that happened on my side is that cities, municipalities, hard words today, municipalities have received money from the government. The cities wanted to help the local business owners get online. It started with one event, then snowballed into an entire niche that she had never thought about. So they contacted her and pay her to consult and help the business owners get their businesses online. It's very interesting.
Really good, great opportunity.
Is it the Small Business Development Center?
I'm not sure because this is a question from the webinar last week. I haven't seen an Annette on the call, but I don't think I can offer or answer that for you, Paula.
Yeah, because I was working with a small business development center. There's one in every city in the US. Actually, I was going to say every major city, but really every city pretty much. And they hire consultants so that you help the local business owners and they pay you directly.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. The only issue that I get with them, though, from me personally, when I first started, no, not the SBA. They're the education end to the SBA. The SBA is like your great grandfather is co-signing a loan for you.
Yeah.
The SBDC is the Small Business Development Center. It was started during the Jimmy Carter era because they realized that small businesses hold a larger percentage of revenue to and hire the most, more than larger businesses. And they wanted to make sure that they supported them. So they hire people like you guys to help them and teach classes if you want and all of that. The problem is lately, I don't know if it's because of COVID, pre-COVID, they were also asking for you to do more and more paperwork, and that more and more paperwork to follow up with clients started making it not as cost time effective, you know? So I know in San Francisco, they're paying $70 an hour. So
Wow.
but not bad for clients that you're not even getting yourself, they're just sending you clients, you know what I mean? So not bad, but the paperwork requirements, they're asking more and more. So I don't do it anymore, only because of that. But every city
Very
is
interesting.
individual, I noticed. So just wanted to share that. Sorry.
And
No, it's great
I'm
insight.
talking and I'm getting an echo. Is anyone else hearing my echo? No? Okay,
I'm
good.
not,
So
no.
it's just on my end. That's good. Okay, just 2 more questions from previously, and then we can jump into the chat. So everyone keep putting your questions in there. Darla asks, what is the sweet spot to charge for full service social media management monthly?
Ooh. I mean, it depends on this. I mean, we're in multiple states, so it's a little bit different per state and per market. But I mean, we're up on average for social. If we're on average, you know, it's 12 posts, 12 pieces of content a month as the base side, and it's about a $3,000 per retainer package for that alone. But I also build in some of the other services into that price point. So, you know, like whether it's express versions or the pro versions of reputation management, they're getting some balanced products in that base price. But I mean, you can break it down by post, you know, whatever your you know, understand your margins, whatever copywriter, your graphic person, whatever it might take per post. But some, you know, if you just shop around, some agencies are charging $300 for, you know, 2 posts a week, which is low, but the quality is not always there. But yeah, for us, we're in the thousands now. But we started at like 500 a month for just social at the beginning. But I was always trying to add more services and give them more so that they can see the reporting was stronger, they were happier, and then they kind of just snowballed into upselling other services there.
Last question on here. Jim asks, how many snapshot reports do you send per month?
I think we're allotted 4 for free in some cases, right? There's a snapshot for every account or every lead we get because it's an icebreaker. And then they kind of lead conversation of showing them the system and the dashboard, and they get it's that wow factor once we kind of guide them into that conversation, and it helps us position ourselves as showing the roadmap and saying, okay, well, I know you came to us through social, you know, for social or for a website, but you know, these are the things that you're going to need to compete in your market. And then when we do our proposal, all those things get factored in and helps us close a little bit faster. But we're sending, I think, like 8 to 10 a month on a slow side.
Very interesting. Okay, diving into the chat. Up at the top, Mr. Lloyd Grant, first question. What's the first hire that you would recommend?
First hire I would recommend. I hired Michelle, who came from PR and strategy, and I invested in having another thinker, another really personable person who came from the marketing and PR world, who understood, you know, how large companies operate, and that's just been a really big advantage for us and how we position ourselves. So I went for the higher talent. invested there.
Giovanni asks, what would you say you do differently from most Vendasta partners?
What do we do differently?
That's a hard question. You don't
Yeah,
always
like-
know what other Vendasta partners are doing.
And I don't operate that way. We stay on in our path, and we don't really look too much at the competition. But what do we do differently? Man, it's a hard question. We just get, I give a lot of stuff, whether I'm charging for it or I'm building it in as a investment to kind of shoot up growth for the client. Yeah, I think
it's
that's
easier
it.
to answer. Just what sets you apart in the market, regardless of Vendasta partners? What sets you apart from other agencies?
We're quick. Like if we get a lead, we're acting on it right away. We're super responsive. Speed is the name of the game. I think in every industry right now, because just for our, like I think of our construction clients, if they get a lead, if they don't act on it, they are losing that bid. So it's that same mindset. We also, maximize the reporting. When we talk to clients, if they're coming from another agency, they were never, at least from my experience, they were never given the data and able to get the weekly reporting and get these notifications about their reviews. That's a huge win. Like when you can get the client to interact with the dashboard on their own, it's great. They love it, and it gives us insight into, that's really a big piece of strength.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
Sorry, this is not a question. This is just for everyone on the call. I want to say it before people kind of stop or start dropping off around that 11:30. There is a time change happening on Sunday. Saskatoon time does not change. Okay, so next week's session, it's still 10:30 Saskatoon time. So be very conscious of that. In the email, we're going to say that as well. I just want everyone to know so I don't get 1,000 emails. Time change doesn't change in Saskatoon, still 10:30 Saskatoon time. Okay, next question. Ryan asks, do you have your staff working out of Sales and Success Center?
That was a big thing, and we haven't really maximized even all the task manager yet either. The CRM or the Sales Center really using more this year, and it's been going really well. And now with the proposal builder, it's gonna I'm excited for that because it keeps everything there, and then it's like a good CRM that we can maximize. So I highly recommend going through that training and using that, getting your salespeople in there, or hiring or using it for your own tool. I also started to use the drip campaigns more this year, and already have seen we've closed 2 accounts that we had conversations with last year, kind of we thought were dead, and I just gave it a shot. I said, well, let's set them up on a snapshot, just campaign, and they reached back out and said, oh, I forgot, and I was a plumber, and a bookkeeper, so smaller, but yeah, they those can work if you customize them a little bit. Those are a nice tools.
Okay,
You're not
Isaac,
supplementing that with another CRM? Sorry.
Say that again.
You're not supplementing that with another CRM. They solely work out of Sales and Success?
I'm solely working through Sales and Success Center. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Isaac asks, which country are those stats from? And Vish answered, I just want to make sure you saw that, Isaac. The 50% jump in salaries is across different jurisdictions, US, UK, and Australia. Let's keep going. Mitch, where do you get your primary leads from? What source? Google ads, social ads, or ...
Yeah, primary and really great clients are still word of mouth. They're
those referrals,
man. Yeah, but you got to ask. I didn't ask up until last year. at all, you know. And so when I had my monthly, I guess I based it on a quarter, but when I had a quarterly call with our client, I just asked, you know, I said, well, you know, I know we've done a great job so far. Do you know anyone else that could benefit? And when you have that relationship, they feed you. So yeah, I think that's where we've gotten the bulk of our big clients from, other than the LinkedIn job boards and Indeed boards, but those take a little bit longer. If they're larger, you got to go through the cycle.
Isaac asks, how are you able to retain 100% of your clients?
Yeah, open communication, being available to them, making sure that they're getting and understand the reporting. That's big, you know, big to know that what they're spending, that they're getting tangible results from. And then, you know, at any given time, when you have those conversations and things aren't, you know, they see if engagement drops or if the ad campaign drops and there's not enough the leads went down, you can have that conversation. So, hey, let's pivot. What's happening in your business? What are customers saying? And they feel like you're a partner. And if you position yourself as a partner and you really want them to grow, and you know you're going to give them a little bit more, you know, that's how, at least for me, I've been able to keep our clients.
Okay, next question. Paul asks, where are you finding the legacy employers are looking to hire employees? What does your process look like when you reach out to legacy prospects that are looking to hire employees that could instead hire you for those services? You just said LinkedIn and job boards?
Yeah, LinkedIn and Indeed have been the strongest source for those type of postings. And then when we find out who the hiring individuals are, we try to you know, we do our research on them, get their contact information when we can, if it's available. If not, we do a little bit more digging to get email or contact. I've even sent personalized notes to their office, trying to introduce and get a meeting. And then reaching out to LinkedIn is great because you can see who they're connected to. And if someone's in the same circle and you know, I don't get a response, I reach out to someone that might know them and try to facilitate an opportunity to get a meeting or a connection. So it's a little bit more legwork, but I mean, once you get a meeting and you pitch the right way, and you know, you give them your offering, the benefit of outsourcing services, they don't have to pay any kind of tax. You know, that's a big benefit for them, especially when they're looking to save and cut expenses. So that's been a nice caveat.
Okay. There's a question in the chat, and I don't know if we know the answer, so I am just posting it in one of our internal groups. But Ryan asks, where do you find decent VAs? David commented that he works with Brian.com, sorry. They have a good pricing model and all VAs are based US based. Also, if you're interested, Mitchell Slater, who we had a few weeks ago, I know he hires a lot of VAs and he's had really great success. But Jack, can you speak to that at all?
I mean, I'm going through it right now. I think I'm using or I'm testing out my Outdesk. That's one. And so far it's been good and it's economical for the position I need, more administrative. What I'm looking, totally transparent, what I'm hired for is administrative, setting up all the account information in our dashboard, and then also social listening, going through monitoring clients comments, posts, shares. So that's where I've been. I'll let you know in a month or so how it goes. Yeah.
Mitch, your question, this is the one I shared in the chat and someone just answered me.
I figured you were gonna, because it's kind of complex. I mean, we do it this way.
So is it possible to outsource social to Vendasta and have them use Cloud Campaign with you, the agency, set up as a brand manager? The answer is no. Marketing services only uses social marketing.
Social marketing. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using both. I like Cloud Campaign because of video. You know, social marketing is a little bit harder to plan video posts because it doesn't go to LinkedIn. Yeah. Where Cloud Campaign doesn't go to YouTube. So they definitely have their advantages.
Good.
Yeah.
With Cloud Campaign, we can import an RSS feed for the customer's blogs, and we can have it add value because we can use that to post on their business LinkedIn page along with their GMB, which is a huge value because it costs us nothing to set up that routine in Cloud Campaign. And we can charge $100 a month for that, and we don't have to do anything. So,
yeah, love it.
Okay, next question. David asks, what was the inflection point in scaling your business that you knew it was taking off? What was the inflection point in scaling your business that you knew it was taking off?
I'm running out of time. Like I was just running out of time and couldn't keep up when I'm behind. When you're scheduled and you're ahead of the game, it's great. And then when you start to fall behind and you're kind of delayed on getting content and meeting with your clients, I think at that point I was like, okay, I'm onto something here, and I doubled down. You do what you got to do to make it happen, bring in people.
Stephen asks, do you do all the reporting using the business app?
Yes.
Easy. Ryan, does the calendar invite update automatically? I think that's for me. I doubt it because I don't know how to use Zoom properly. As you saw, I tried to share my screen.
You're good. You're good. The time zones automatically, Google accounted for it. I checked.
Okay, thank you for answering your own
12:30
question.
p.m. for East Coast next week.
Thank you.
Jumping back to Stephen, make sure you connect, the Search Console, Google Analytics, all that stuff. Just tie everything together. That really makes a better, robust reporting.
Yeah. Cheers, Jack.
Yeah.
Giovanni, how do you hire for sales? What type of base rate commission structure do you use? Would love everyone's feedback on this who hire for sales. Everyone else, just drop your comments in the chat. But Jack?
Yeah, I have 2 sales people right now, and I'm giving them 10% commission based on total revenue of the client. And I'm a big believer in keeping the recurring income theme and model. So I offer the same thing for them as long as the client is a client and they're stay with us and they'll reap the benefit.
Awesome. We're exactly the same. That's great.
Yeah.
Do you customize your reports or just use the executive reports?
Just the executive report.
Paula, do you use Program for proposals?
Yeah, I was using a system called Proposify, which I like. They're expensive, a little bit more expensive, and I think they make you pay for the whole year. I'm still using it while the beta program's going out. Yeah, I like it because you can track the open rate and where the client's spending their time, if they're spending time on certain sections of our proposal. And I think this proposal builder will have that same feature, and once it's tied into CRM, it's even going to be it's better because it's all in one place for us to go.
Jumping around. Chris asks, can you explain what you meant by saving the tax? Is that only if they're out of state? I don't remember you saying that.
I think it's an employee and the expense of having to pay for insurance or 401k, state employee tax. I guess, yeah, it's not every state.
Payroll taxes.
Payroll tax, yeah.
Okay.
We don't charge that. So to outsource to us, it's an expense for them. And they get more.
How do you manage your commission payout?
I have a bookkeeper. So
Easy.
I mean, I know your strengths. My strength is connecting with the client and managing the strategies. I'm not an expert in my financial side, so I hired a bookkeeper. I have an accountant, and they manage all that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sally, I think you got an answer to your questions about the other VA agencies again. I see a lot of people answering that for you. Let's see. Ryan, I heard 10% commission. Is that based on gross or net?
I base it on gross.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then Lloyd comment, are you saying you pay a flat 10 commission and no base or bonus to sales reps?
At the moment, it's 100% commission based. But I also have it where if let's say Michelle, who's my salaried, if she brings in a client or referral, she has the opportunity to also get 10%. So if anyone on the team, because we're all very, everyone has their own network. So if they feel they're more of a part of the company that way and they can get extra, that's just another bonus for them if they refer a client or do some of the legwork on their own. They don't
So you
necessarily
pay
have
10% for the close and 10% for the referral?
no, just for the close.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Got it.
Yeah. We're doing the work. Yeah, we're closing the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I understood you correctly. I misunderstood.
Yeah, but I'm a believer. I mean, if you can get and source a sales rep within the space that has a great network, man, and they're bringing in leads, man, pay that person.
Okay, can you share? Sorry. Typing something to Vish, so he pays Vish if you could check your Slack. Thanks. Okay, look at that. 11:29, we finished a minute early. This is insane. Vish right now is going to share the community thread that has the recording for Jack's full presentation. So I really encourage you. There was a lot of really good questions answered in there. And I think a lot of people gain a lot from people asking different questions. So be sure to go check it out. Again, Connect is happening. Register. I thought I had the link. I don't know if Katrina's on the line. I'm just gonna quickly find it again. Again, this is all recorded. You can find it in the community, hang out in the community sessions. A couple other announcements. Time change. We do not change time. 10:30 Saskatoon time. I don't think I can yell any louder. If you miss it, I am so sorry. There's the registration for Connect again. Jack, thank you so much for coming,
Thank you.
spending time with everyone and sharing your wisdom about everything Vendasta. I really appreciate it, and I think everyone here appreciates it too. So.
Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, if you need anything else, connect with me on LinkedIn and happy to reach out, have a conversation.
Okay, awesome. Everyone have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week, 10:30 Saskatoon time.